Hi, Doc. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Great. So I'm excited about this blog because we don't really cover men and hormones as much as we do, obviously, women in menopause. And when we do get questions from men about hormones, we have a wonderful blog, but it's so nice to have a video to talk really solely on this topic because there is quite a lot
hmm
unknown, and many men don't realize that they can benefit from hormone replacement. And so I wanted to talk, we talk a lot about menopause for women. When menopause for women starts when women stop ovulating. Is that correct?
That pretty much so, yes.
Okay. And then their hormones start to plummet and they start going through perimenopause and then menopause when they stop having their period fully. Is that pretty much the definition? I would say most women started around 50, depending on whether or not they have children or not. I know that if they don't have children, you can start earlier. Is so but for men, they gradually start losing their hormones at the age of 40.
Yes.
So and almost they start experiencing male menopause earlier than women, it seems, or can.
Well, possibly.
Okay. Well, anyway, it can start at the age of 40. And so my question is the definition of menopause, or often termed andropause. Does that just refer to the decline in testosterone, or does that refer to the decline in all hormones for men?
Well, actually, the decline in testosterone,
Okay. So andropause really specifically just refers to the decline in testosterone. So male
basically.
male menopause is all encompassing of all hormones, which they have the same hormones as women. Is that correct?
Men and women have the identical hormones.
Exactly. Okay. So at the age of 40, the decline in hormones affect men's health. Can you tell me and elaborate a little bit about that? What are some of the signs and the symptoms for them to detect when that's
Well,
happening?
yeah, let's not put an age on this because it can happen whenever, but
Mm-hmm.
the the primary occurrence with andropause or male menopause is that drop in testosterone. Now, testosterone is for men is a very important hormone. Also for women, it's a very important hormone.
Mm-hmm.
People have to realize that the heart has more testosterone receptor sites than any other tissue in the body. So, from a heart standpoint, testosterone is important. Uh, Testosterone, you can't build muscle without testosterone. Um, and the other thing is the uh, the whole, testosterone, you can't have a libido without testosterone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also, it's important with regard to bones. Testosterone helps bones to heal and to, to sort of restructure themselves.
And
Um,
muscles. Well, I mean, heart is a muscle, so yeah.
Important. Yeah. Well, you can't build muscle without testosterone.
Yeah.
So and also when testosterone levels drop in men, they lose their what's called joie de vivre. You have to excuse my French pronunciation, but the joy of life.
Right.
And I remember I had a fellow who came to see me. He was in his 70s, and he used to be a runner, and he lost the ability to sort of maintain his running ability. And so he started on testosterone and he started running 10 miles a day,
Wow.
um, which is what he used to be able to run.
Mhm.
So so it's important in terms from an energy standpoint, um, for men.
And libido.
So
libido, right?
libido for both men and women, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um,
Mood, does it affect your mood?
Probably,
Right. Just more
if
about
you,
energy and
yeah, but but testosterone is not the only hormone that that diminishes with with age. But just to um, put it all together, the men stop making progesterone right around the age of 50 is when they stop making uh, a hormone called progesterone. And you don't hear about progesterone in men. In fact, most doctors believe it's a woman's hormone. But but progesterone is an incredibly important hormone for men. And and the thing is, it it helps regulate other hormones. People with for example, in women, progesterone blocks estrogen. But the thing about men and estrogen is that right around the time of the male andropause or whatever, their estradiol level is higher than a woman's is.
mm,
And and keep in mind that estradiol in women causes like 6 different cancers.
mhm,
And so it's not a happy hormone. And so that in men it's probably up to no good also. And men are sometimes concerned about cancer of the prostate. Now,
right.
the prostate tissue, embryologically, it comes from the same tissue as the uterus, embryologically. And the
Mhm,
only cause of cancer of the uterus is estradiol. And, so here men now have high levels of estrogen. And needless to say, after
right.
the age of 50, men start developing cancer of the prostate. So
So you feel that
there,
there's a link, obviously, between the two.
yeah. So, and the other thing is that also after the age of 50, when men are in the andropause and they stop making progesterone, they start putting on weight. It's not unusual.
Mhm,
And what puts on weight around the middle is insulin. And again, progesterone is the hormone that blocks insulin.
right.
So, and and I'm sure people listening to this have heard me always talk about adrenaline, and progesterone is the hormone that blocks adrenaline. And it's not unusual, to hear about people with road rage, and men certainly get road rage, and the only cause of road rage is adrenaline. So again, uh, progesterone is an important hormone because it blocks adrenaline.
Mhm,
So yeah, so the two major hormone changes, not the only ones, but the two major ones that occur as men go into the in andropause is a drop in testosterone levels and a drop in progesterone levels.
Now, let me ask you, let's go back to the prostate. Are there any studies that link estrogen dominance to prostate cancer? Or is that more of a connecting the dots observation?
There have been studies that have indicated this. Um, I, needless to say, I can't mention mention one right now, but yeah,
But there
studies
are
have
studies
shown.
out there that connect that
Yes,
we can say men who have that are estrogen dominant are more likely to get prostate cancer, or there's a link to that.
there is a link to that.
Okay. So
Uh,
that's really cool. I think that we can maybe put a link to a study when we post this vlog into the description, and that would be really great to share. I know we did a blog on it, but I don't think we linked any studies to that. But I think that is, as far as any man over 50 uh, would, feel calmer and increase their mood and have the ability to prevent prostate cancer by using progesterone, um, why not? It's
when
like kind of a no-brainer.
when men are put on testosterone, uh, the doctors that are prescribing it should be aware, and I think a lot of them are, not all, but a lot of them are, is that when a man is on testosterone, you have to uh, follow the estradiol levels because it will go up. because testosterone does convert into estradiol.
Right.
And
Interesting.
so they have ways of preventing this, and they have ways of treating this with certain supplements or prescriptions.
Mhm.
Um, the prescription would be for something called anastrozole, which is the generic for Arimidex, which is used for treating breast cancer in women because it again, it lowers estradiol levels.
Mhm.
So the usual dose for women is 1 milligram, which is 1,000 micrograms. And but going to a compounding pharmacy, they can take those 1 milligram tablets and crush it and make 50 and 100 microgram tablets. So instead of taking 1,000 micrograms, which will have side effects,
Mhm.
they can get a reduced dose. Other drugs that help with aromatization or the conversion of testosterone into estradiol is zinc. And zinc is healthy for the immune system anyway.
Right. Which is why
And
we have that in our male hormone bundle.
okay.
Now I realize,
And
okay, now I get it.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then there are other supplements like indole 3-carbinol, which is usually called I3C, and DIM, which is diindole mutase. These are two supplements that again lower estradiol levels.
Mhm.
And then you have things like saw palmetto and pygeum and whatever, which are healthy for the prostate, but they also help control things like DHT, which is another
Mhm.
um, hormone that testosterone converts into, which also affects the prostate. So,
Okay.
I guess the bottom line here is that when men are on testosterone,
Mhm.
they have to be aware of the effect it's going to have on the prostate.
Right. It's a dominant. Yeah, I see. Exactly. Well, I think that men who start delving into information about hormone balancing, they don't know really where to start. I think they first go to testosterone and they don't really get a full scope about how that affects other hormones. And and of course there's still, people are still confused about progesterone and they think it's a sex hormone, which it's not. So
This is
progesterone is safe for men. It's not a sex hormone. You're not going to grow breasts. And it's a great estrogen blocker. So I just wanted to point that out because I know that is a concern.
okay.
So if a man wants to go out, wants to start with hormone balancing, or BRT replacement, do you suggest they get a blood test?
Well, testosterone is a controlled drug.
Mhm.
What that means is you need a narcotics prescription in order to get it. And usually in those situations, doctors will do a blood test just to cover themselves because it is a controlled drug.
Got it.
Um, the uh, yeah. So
So it's good
and
to
they
have a
should also have
baseline.
and they should also have their estradiol level checked, which is a good idea.
Mhm.
So those are the two main hormones that they should look at. There are other hormones that they could look at, but those are the two most important ones. They should maybe have DHEA looked at also.
Okay.
And DHEA, people with the highest levels actually have the greatest longevity. So it could be looked at as an anti-aging hormone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another, and as people get older, their levels go straight down.
Right.
So
Okay. Uh, so what are the other benefits of, so now we know that we sell progesterone and estriol because it's an over-the-counter, it's a bioidentical. Testosterone, you do need a prescription, and your doctor is going to want to do a blood panel. So what are some of the symptoms that men that may, let's say they reach 50 and they think it's a good idea to get hormone balancing, they may just voluntarily do it on their own. But what may be some of the symptoms they might be experiencing? I know you said fatigue, the loss of joie de vivre, libido, but is there anything else that they might, maybe fat around the belly?
Well, these are the major concerns.
Mhm.
You know, testosterone levels will become lower in all men. It's not, it's just a matter of time. And some men sooner than others.
Maybe loss of muscle mass. That
Loss
could
of,
be,
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Uh,
So the benefits of the progesterone cream in men, you say it's great for prevention of prostate cancer. It would lower insulin levels. It'll help obviously with weight as a result. And you also had here in our blog that it helps lower blood pressure. Why would that?
well, again, hormones have a big control over, how the body operates, and there are basically two different hormones that raise blood pressure. One is adrenaline, and the other is insulin. Both those hormones raise blood pressure, and those are two hormones that progesterone blocks. So it's not unusual for people when they start on progesterone to get a drop in their blood pressure.
Oh, okay. That's great. So also it says it eliminates asthma and or hay fever. Can you
Yes.
elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, actually, men or women with asthma, usually after about a week or two, people after they start progesterone will find that they do no longer need medications for their asthma, which is a nice thing.
That is a nice thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And it prevents coronary spasm, prevents osteoporosis, which is very big. I know women talk about that all the time, but not so much men. But that's very important that progesterone cream would help prevent osteoporosis. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, both men and women can wind up with osteoporosis. It's actually more dangerous in men than it is in women because if they fall and break their hips, there's actually an associated mortality risk, that they can, that within a certain period of time, they will pass on. So again, testosterone not only prevents osteoporosis, it treats it. It's a lot safer than the medications that they have for osteoporosis.
Right. Okay. And the prevention of colon cancer.
Well, again, that is also felt to be related to estrogen. So,
got it. Okay. Well, that is great. I think that pretty much covers. I know that we had done a pretty nice blog. I'll put a link of the blog into our description for our vlog, so you can read both because it has a little bit more detail about testosterone expressively. But is there,
I'd like to address one thing that may be of concern. When it comes to replacing testosterone, men are given actually three different options. One option is the insertion of pellets, which I do not recommend, because you have no control. If a man starts winding up with too much testosterone or too high estrogen from the testosterone replacement, they have to wait for the pellets to dissolve, and that could take like 6 months. Now the other option are injections. Actually, here men would probably give themselves the injections. Again, then the third option, which is the one I would recommend, is testosterone cream from a compounding pharmacy. And the reason for the cream is that this is the best way of having direct control over your levels of testosterone. You know, with the cream, you could either go up or down, whatever, but you can't
Mhm.
do that with injections, and you certainly can't do that with pellets.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. And I feel that way with the hormone creams, with the progesterone and estriol as well. So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. Well, that is great. I hope, well, certainly I believe that, when men at least reach 50, they should be considering all these options and looking into it just from the standpoint of anti-aging, feeling better, having better mood. Like you said, joie de vivre, libido, your heart, your muscles, very preventative. Um, and I think it's a great vlog for any man to listen to start. Obviously, talk to your doctor. You're gonna have to get a blood test for testosterone, but hopefully we filled in some blanks. And also, if you have any further questions, you can email Doc at questions@plattwellness.com. We're more than happy to you answer these directly, right? Hundreds of emails.
Exactly.
So if anybody has any further questions, I know we do get some questions once in a while from social media. And we have quite a few customers that are males that buy progesterone cream. And we do have a male hormone balance bundle that has cream, and it has zinc, and I believe it has estriol, or S-less, because like you said, if they're going to be on testosterone, they want to control the elevation of estriadol. So that's two great
Correct.
supplements for that. Okay, Doc, well, is there anything else you want to add, or
No,
okay?
I
I think
no,
we
that should
covered
do it.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we covered it anyway. Again, Dr. Michael Platt, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email us, and we will list a study regarding the link to prostrate, and we will link this blog into the description. So
Got
thank you
it.
for joining us. Thanks, Doc. I'll talk to you later.
Always. Okay.
Okay.
Adios.
Adios. Bye-bye.